I'm looking down at the city below. It's a tent city. It's the city from the festival. And they build tents. And they have millions of people staying in these tents for the month. I'm seeing it.
Fantastic. And as you're looking down, what do you notice about your body?
There's nothing, it's just the wind.
Beautiful. Okay. And so what are you noticing there in that city of tents?
I think it's just the energy from all of the spiritual people that are gathered for the purpose of connecting to a higher energy. It's drawing a lot of energy to it. There's a lot of others that are watching.
Fantastic. Wonderful. And so what are you noticing as you're watching that?
There's in the river that runs through the festival grounds. It's rising and lowering, and adjusting. And there are bridges across it, about a dozen of them. And the bridges are all on floats, so when the river goes up, they rise up. And when the river goes down, they go down.
Fantastic. And what else are you noticing now?
Now I'm on the bridge, walking across. Others are walking across. We're all going in the same direction, towards the place where the rivers meet. There's a spot which is the famous center where the rivers meet. And the confluence. I'm just being drawn to being there. The energy is peaking there. There's a myth of the nectar of immortality coming up at that place at that time, every 12 years in the river. So I'm taking my dip in the river now. I'm in the river. Feels special and magical, and the energy is like electricity going through me.
Fantastic. And then what else are you noticing there?
Any energies I was holding on to are just falling away. Whatever's not useful. I'm feeling very cleansed.
That sounds beautiful. Fantastic. Okay, is there anything else you're noticing there now?
I'm traveling upriver to an earlier time when I was in the mountains. And I'm seeing this place where I visited where the Ganges River is only about 50 feet across instead of 2 miles. And at this place, I went in the river, and even though it was only a few feet deep, I squatted down and I submerged myself under the water up to my neck. And the ice cold water made my skin red. And I did a very deep meditation, and I stayed in the water a very long time. That was an earlier time. I felt the river again just going through me like electricity.
Fascinating. Okay, thank you. And so then what happens next?
I'm focusing on a meditation, on a mantra that my guru taught me. It's a mantra that I was initiated with that invokes the energy of Gaia. It's called Gayatri. And it comes to me at times. It just fills my mind at times when I'm just open.
Beautiful. Okay, wonderful. And then moving forward, what happens next?
I'm taking that energy back home with me to California and trying to refocus it and understand it and tap into it and use this energy to help others. It's coming to me as truth whispering, as a message I want to share about people connecting to the inner voice.
Yeah, so beautiful. Okay, thank you so much. So let's just drift and float away now, leaving that scene behind us. And we're looking for another time, another place where there is information you would like to seek. You're now arriving at the new time and place. What do you notice happening?
I'm sitting at my computer, focusing on writing my book. And the energy is uplifting me.
Lovely. And then what happens next?
I want to see the information coming through me from my book, from my higher self or subconscious or inner guide. I don't know who to ask. My team. I want to know about my team. They can help me write my book.
I see. And so then when you ask your team for help for your book, what do you notice happening?
get new ideas, and it's becoming more clear bit by bit.
Okay, fantastic. And what are you noticing happening next?
I'm having a concern, and usually I don't have any concerns. I don't have any worries. I don't allow those deceptions in my mind. But I'm having a concern that I want to complete my book before the end comes. I'm having a doubt, and I just want some reassurance that it will be helpful and serve its purpose in the time I have left to write it. I've wasted a lot of
I see. Okay. So I understand. And then what happens next, moving forward?
I'm working on the book more, and something happens. Seems like a knock on the door, but I think that's just a symbolism. Let's see what's next.
Okay, so let's move forward a little bit and see what happens next.
I'm welcoming a large group of people. I want to say people, but they're not people. They're spirits. They're something. They're beings. About 25 of them.
Wonderful. How do you feel about them and what are they wanting you to know?
They want to sit me down and tell me the truth.
Wonderful. So let them sit you down, and what do they say to you to tell you the truth?
You will know that the truth is inside you when you're ready.
So is that the information they're sharing with you, is you know the truth when you are ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I ask them if I'm ready, and they say no.
In what ways are you not ready?
I'm hearing umbilical cord.
Okay, can you get them to explain it to you?
It's not yet cut.
And what is this umbilical cord attached to?
My hopes and dreams.
And are they suggesting that you need to cut that for you to be ready for the truth?
I need to trust that I don't need it. Like you said before, grabbing your book in the last minute when the wave is coming. I don't need that. hopes.
Are they suggesting to you to be able to have a different perspective of what is coming? What else would they like to tell you?
Not to be hoping for it to be one way or another, because that means that some little part of you is also doubting it. You don't just know it, you sort of hope it means you don't really trust it will be. And you can let go of that because you know you can trust it will be. You don't need to hope it will turn out.
So what is their recommendation for you? How would they like you to move forward?
I stop hoping it'll turn out a certain way, and I just trust in the way that it does turn out. Instead of trying to make it a certain way, I need to allow it to be how it wants to be.
What's the difference between how it's going to be and what he hopes it will be?
He hopes it will be perfect. The difference is it will be perfect. And the problem is only in the hoping. Hoping is like so polluted, it's not pure. Hoping is second class. Hoping is not really trusting.
So what is the focus of the trust? What does he need to really trust into?
Just to hold the intention to trust what happens. There's just a little part left that's not sure.
Is this the significance of the session today, to be able to allow him to fully trust after he's experienced the information and questions he has?
Yes. We've been giving him the information, but he still isn't completely trusting it. Almost completely.
Say it's quite natural for people to still have some resistance because it seems too surreal, the information, because the consequences are so grand.
I think I'm doing pretty well considering.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. Okay. And so what else are they saying to you? Are they still sitting you down?
Yeah, they are saying I need a little more work on loving myself. I need to love myself like I love my cat.
Is that the significance of the cat being in his life, is to teach that unconditional love?
Yes, what's not to love?
Fantastic. Okay. So that is remarkable and very achievable, to love self like the cat.
Well, I've come to know that I'm responsible for everything in my world. And that's hard to swallow. There are some nice things in my world and some not nice things in my world. And I'm responsible for the things in my world. So that's what I'm having difficulty with. Finding self-love.
Wow, it's great. Epiphany. Thank you. Is there anything else that these beings who have got you seated down would like you to know?
Very close. I just need to see how the pieces of the puzzle fit together. They snap in place like little Lego blocks.
Okay. Do they have any other suggestions for you how to release these blocks or love yourself like the cat?
Nothing more to do. Just relax. I've been practicing doing less, less video jobs, less energy sessions, less e-commerce. Everything has come to a stop while I'm doing my studio, and that's done now. So that's come to a stop. So this is the time for me to stop doing and learn from other ways.
What other ways would they like you to learn?
Well, I had the theory and I had the practice. So the only other way is to just do it.
Is there any hesitation or resistance to just doing it?
Just uncertainty of the unknown. Not sure where to place my first step.
Okay, I understand. And is there any other information they would like you to know?
They're saying to guide myself to the light. The light will always be right. Yes, it rhymes.
Fantastic. And did they want you to do that now to guide yourself to the light?
Partly, but not totally. I still need to be able to come back and finish the book.
I see. And so they're saying to you that finishing the book is still important to do?
Yes.
Fantastic.
My wife was joking. She said, what if in your session tomorrow you go to New Earth?
Well, it could be possible for you to experience New Earth, but still be able to keep your 3D body and still be living in your 3D life.
I'd like to do that.
Okay. And so do you want to ask those beings who've got you sitting down if you could have the experience of just journeying and following the light, which will always be right, to go to the new earth, just to have a little look-see?
He said, yes, I can have a look-see.
Fantastic. How would they like you to do that?
Through my third eye.
Okay, so then let's move forward and see how you arrive and get to New Earth.
Looks like a beam of light, but it also looks like an escalator. Like moving stairs. Stepping on them. Just like as I'm going up, different layers are being peeled off of me. Like I'm leaving a heavy coat behind. Still going up the escalator. Now it feels like my body is just light. And it stops and there are clouds. I step on the clouds and there's a door. I see the door and I go over to it and I open it. And without hesitating, I walk in. First, I see a lot of stars. And then I see that the stars are above me. And I'm in the meadow, a famous meadow. It feels very alive. Life all around me in the meadow. I don't see it like that, but I just feel it.
And how do you feel emotionally being there now?
Well, I think I'm happy, but something tells me also I'm tired. I need to rest from the energy it took to travel.
And do you get a sense of how you rest there? What do you need to do?
I'm breathing very deeply and absorbing energy and recharging myself.
Okay, so let's move forward. So when you are recharged, what are you noticing now?
It didn't take long. The breathing gives me energy. That's why we won't really need much food, because the breathing gives us energy. Prana.
Fantastic.
Feels exciting to be a breatharian. I met one once in the Himalayas. This old monk. His followers said he never ate food anymore. He just breathed and drank water. I can see now how easy that will be.
And so now that you're fully charged and you're sensing the new earth, what else are you noticing happening there?
I'm checking that I have a body. It feels like a form. I can't sense any of the details of it or see it, but I can just sense that it's there. It's sort of solid in whatever way solid could be in that
I see. And in terms of others around you, what do you notice about them?
I don't see anyone like me. There's a lot of beings in the nature there. They have their bodies that are connected to the planet. Everything is connected to the planet. That's why they're different from me. I've just arrived and it'll take me some time to have my connection be full. It'll take me 3 days.
I see. Okay, so let's move forward through those 3 days. What are you noticing now about being connected?
Well, so much energy came into me by breathing. So much more energy than I ever had before. But it's allowed me to clear away all of the misperceptions. And after seeing my true light, I realized my natural connection to everything. It always was there. It was just clouded with my misperceptions of separateness.
Allow yourself now to fully sense and feel that in recognition of self. Connect in deeply now. So tell me, how does it feel emotionally to have the sense of full self?
I was always meant to come here. It's a kind of vindication. Some part of me always knew that there was more light than dark. Just had to know where to look.
And where was it truly where you needed to look?
Inside, where there's an infinite amount of light, and outside, there's a limited amount of darkness. That's what I didn't understand.
Fantastic. And so now that you understand that, because you've experienced it, how would you approach things differently in the life that you're living on the earth as Dave?
I'm going to go 100% for allowing whatever comes into my world. My task is simply to say yes and embrace it. Make it work. Make it a part of the whole. Share the energy that is the limitless energy. Stop sharing the outer limited energies.
Okay, fantastic. And as you're exploring the new earth there now, what else are you noticing?
The trees are very conversational. Reminds me of a time when I took some LSD and could hear them singing. But this time I don't need the LSD. Very conversational, friendly.
And so what advanced vibrations and frequency and state of mind can you reach on the new earth? Can you feel into that now? And tell me, what does that feel like?
Having a little discomfort in my legs right now. I'm sort of not really getting numb, but getting a little bit cramped, I think.
Okay,
Shift a little bit.
sure. Get into comfort and just enjoy the way it feels to have any tensions anywhere in the body flow right through, allowing all energy to flow through. Are you back into comfort now?
Released any of the energies that were blocking, yes.
Fantastic. Okay, so moving forward, being in that beautiful, peaceful state of relaxation, what are you noticing now?
The rivers, the water in New Earth, like everything, it's alive. It's connected energetically with its self. So it's in the flow state. So it's flowing as water, but it's also flowing energetically. It's like seeing two flowings at once.
And what else are you noticing there?
Just the nature is very well made. I want to compliment the planetary builders. It's awesome.
Well, I'm sure they're grateful for your appreciation and gratitude. Okay, and do you get to see and notice anyone familiar there? What are you noticing about those who are there with you?
I'm not identifying with other beings I know yet. I may be the first to arrive of my group.
Okay, so let's move forward when you are reunited. What can you tell me?
It's later now, and I've been here for a while. As new people arrive, I show them around. I share my energy with them, and that helps calm them. That's my day-to-day job. Healing, teaching. My book is there. My book has come to New Earth, and I'm using that in my healing tools.
Do you see it as a physical book or something else?
No, it's a crystal. It's energy. Its form is like a crystal. That's the best form to put my book into here, to have it there.
Fantastic. And how do people use the crystal?
Over there, it's easy. You just see what the intention of the crystal is. Over here, it's difficult. You have to have a strong, clear intention. Place that intention inside the crystal. It's like recording them is tricky. Playing back is easy because they're only going to be played back in 5D. Anybody in 5D can play it back.
Is it possible for you to absorb the intention and the information on that crystal of your book?
Yes, it'll be no problem now that I know what I need to do.
Fantastic. Wonderful. Okay, that is exciting. And so noticing other important things for you there, what else are you sensing?
I think there's a lot of historical information, spiritual books and such, that it would be good to hold that information also into crystals. And I may be able to help in that mission.
Fantastic. Okay. And then moving forward to where you reconnect and reunite with significant people in your lifetime here now. Go and experience that, and what is that like for you?
When my wife arrives, it's been almost a year. It's been hard, but I know she's on her way, so I was able to wait. And when she comes, she's coming off a ship. When she comes off the ship, she's very happy to see me. So happy to see me. She wasn't sure if any of it was real, everything I told her. But when she saw me, then she knew. And we're merging together. Very happy to be together again.
Fantastic. What did she think had happened to you?
Some part of her knew what happened. Deep down, she knew the truth. She asked herself, and herself told her it was true. But I left for New Earth.
Do you get a sense of why she was delayed for that year?
She had some processing to do. Being able to accept all of these things happening. If you're doubting it and then it all happens, it's really hard to suddenly shift your position. If you're open to the possibilities, like I am, more open, then it's an easier transition.
I see. So she has this transition period on the old Earth or somewhere else?
In the ships.
I see. Do you get a sense that you both left Earth at the same time?
I'm hearing yes.
Okay, well, thank you. And so being with your wife and merging on the new earth together,
We could talk to each other for the time she was in the ship. We could telepathically communicate. So she wasn't afraid. She knew. It's like being away. We just checked in every so often.
was she able to share her information to others that were on the ships?
She was in her own isolated lesson. Her own isolated lesson. Otherwise, it would be too distracting. She was in dream state mostly.
Oh, I see. Oh, that is fascinating. And so when you're there together on the new earth, what do you get a sense that you do moving forward in time when things settle down and people are more accustomed to the vibration and the new way of life?
We settle down. We find a space that is familiar. We've actually made a space that's a lot like what we have here. I've been making it ready, and I'm a master virtual builder.
Fantastic. So the skill sets that you have created for yourself, including building your fort, is all purposeful for your skill sets on the new earth?
Yes, and before that, I learned how to build in Second Life, 3D modeling reality, virtual reality building, to create anything. House, clothes, my avatar, I was able to make it have my look. I mastered the virtual world already about 10 years ago.
And so when you create this replica of your world on the new earth, do you get any sense of anything different that is noticeable for you now as you're viewing that?
Yes, it's more perfect, and I don't have to do any house maintenance, house repairs. In our family, I was the handyman around the house. My wife went off to work every day. Sort of a reversal of the traditional roles. At least that's what it's been in the last 5-6 years. For a long time, I was caregiver for her mom. And so it was good that I stayed at home and did my own work on the computer when I was around the house. And I just learned that I really liked being around the house more than I liked being around 3D people. Yes, there's judgment there. Yes, so we're here on that.
It could be said that it's more observation than judgment.
There's truth that I like it better not being around stupid 3D people. But I had to say stupid. So no, there's more to it than just observation. There's definitely still judgment.
Okay. Well, that is fine. And so in terms of viewing the setup that you have on the new earth, do you get a sense of anything else surrounding you, or Do you help others create their homes and teach them, or?
No, I think I'm really just focused inwardly on by helping other people. I'm helping them with healing and shifting their energies. I'm sensing that I'm using tools like Photoshop to move images and shift pixels around. But instead of images and pixels, I'm like shifting people's energies and emotions, just like with a brush, with a digital brush.
Fantastic. And is this from your skill sets of understanding and learning about the quantum matrix code?
Yes.
Perfect. Fantastic. Okay, thank you. In exploring now other places on the new earth that you love, what are you noticing about that?
My team wants to take me to these caves.
Okay, so be at those caves now.
And as I go deep underground, I feel comfortable being under the ground. It feels safe and familiar.
And what else are you noticing there?
Well, they're inferring that I have had past lives as, I guess, reptilian and done darker things, and that it's okay to accept that side of my being, and that that side of me is part of what allowed me to come out of the caves and live in the light.
Fantastic. So are you able to release the judgment or the discomfort or anything that no longer serves you of those other lifetime experiences?
I'm not 100% accepting. I'm almost there. Let me release the blocks.
Mm-hmm. Remembering the significance and life experiences and contracts of those lives, would that help you understand that this was purposeful?
Yes. Purposeful, indeed.
Okay, thank you. Yes, we love the word purposeful. It says a lot without saying anything.